Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So I'm so excited. We're getting ready to do the final project with our technique from yesterday. I will have links to Sarah MILLERHOUSE down in the more section, so make sure you check out her channel since she inspired me to kind of play with my products for this project. Okay, so in the process, I decided to cut out mats for all of these cards. And what we're going to do is we're going to color in around all four edges in the same color as our background, right? So basically making our own color cardstock using the ink pad. Sometimes you can do this with like Versamark ink and then do heat embossing. This is something that you can always do. So even though you may not have matching color paper, you can create your own colors. I know if you follow Catherine Pooler, you may have seen her do it with like direct to ink pad to paper, where they color in white cardstock to make it match their colored inks. So this is not a new way of doing anything. It's just another option, right? So if you don't want to do the ink pad to use up all your ink that's on your pad, grab one of your distress brushes and just go around the edges, because you don't have to fill in the entire card base. You just want the edges to match. Now with this one, I'm going to show you something. So with this particular brush, I was like, this is going to take me forever to get around. So I got my distress tool, and for this one, the distress tool was a way better option. I think the brush is just a little bit too big and almost too soft to get the color on as deep as I wanted it. So for this particular color, using the smaller blending tool was way better as an option. So we're just going to hook that back to the ink pad, and then we're going to clean up. And the clean up with the oxides on the glass mat is so easy, because you just add water and then wipe it off. And then I'm going to clean up my hands as best as I can and come back and we're going to put these together. So now I'm just going to tape around the outside and glue this down. Now be careful with your oxides, because remember, they do dry. It takes a little bit longer for them to dry. So you could still get ink on your fingers, and you just want to be careful. I did trim down our distress, with the stenciling paper to be 3 7/8 by, I want to say it was 5 1/8. So that way you would get a little bit more of the color on the background of the mat for our card fronts. Because doing the decorating on it the way that we will be, we still had plenty of room. So trimming it down just a little bit shorter, to me, just made it so that it just looked better on the card front. Like I said, you get a little bit more of that color peeking out. And, it's all done tone on tone, but it makes for a very pretty card. And you can use, like I said, with doing backgrounds like this, you could always make a ton of backgrounds. You like doing something, you're bored, you just want to play, you don't necessarily want to make something specific. Do up a bunch of these. Grab all your colors, grab different stencils, you know what I mean? And you could just create foundations. We can call these card foundations, okay? And with this, you can always make a card. It can be whatever sentiment you want, you know what I mean? And then you just use your stash. So if it's flowers, if it's doodle pops or Bella pops, or using cut aparts, ephemera, whatever. If it's something that you want to be able to grab quick and easy. Someone tells you, oh, I just bought a new house, and you want to give them a congratulations card. Grab a foundation, slap a congratulations on it, a little bit of decorations, and you're done, right? Quick and easy. A lot of times people say, oh, I'm not a card maker. It's like, if you do layouts, you're a card maker. You're doing a card on a 12 by 12 scale. You know what I mean? You're just adding a photo and doing stuff like that. Take away the photo, you've made a card, now shrink it to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, okay? That's they're the same exact thing. You're creating a layout on your card front. It's just a little smaller of a canvas. So no more excuses. Everybody can be a card maker, and every card maker can be a layout maker. We're all just makers. You know what I mean? We're doing this craft, and we can really go either way. So if you've always wanted to make cards and felt a little like, I don't know, just do it. Just do it. Okay. All right, so on this one, remember I mapped it out with the tag and the sentiment, and then we're going to use the sequins. So I'm just using my pickup tool to lay them out. On two of them, I did a sequin on sequin, and then I was like, you know what, I want some more. That's my problem with sequins and gems. The odd number thing that you always hear about, I love that because I do like odd numbers, but what kills me is even with that, you could do 3 and be done. I'm never done with 3. I usually go to like 7, and if not 7, 9, like I can barely stop. Okay. So on this one, since I have the Bella Pop there, or Doodle Pop, excuse me, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of foam under my sentiment, the hello, and then put it on the edge. And then we're going to glue the hearts down. And you may ask, don't the hearts have sticky on them already? Yes, they do. But anything that's a sticker, I always add more glue to it. And I do that because I know that sometimes they don't stick well enough. And especially if you're using inks or anything on top of the inks, like a gel or any type of medium, you're going to want to use wet glue. So I just use the wet glue too. It doesn't hurt anything. And then I was pulling out a bunch of different items for like gems to go with it. And I realized that saltwater taffy, though it's kind of in the pink section, it's actually, to me, it's more peachy than pink. It's like a slight pink peach. Because like I was pulling out these pink flowers and I'm like, no, that's not the color. That's not the color I'm looking for. But then I found I had this leftover gems from a layout that I did that I bought as a kit. And I was like, you know what? Let's use these up. They have a darker, like a deeper pink that kind of goes with this color. And then I think I wound up using these 2 baby pinks. And it's okay that they're a little bit lighter. I made it work, okay? But that is the hello one. And then this one was fun because I love playing with the flowers. I don't use flowers as much as I used to. And so using the grateful and then adding these flowers down. And like I've said in a previous video, you just want to hold it down for like a few seconds. Give that glue time enough to kind of like kick in. It doesn't take long for this wet glue. I'm using barely art glue, and I still have some art glitter glue. So I kind of go, I wouldn't be surprised if they're really mixed in, because ever since I started using the my Petunia squeeze, you know, the handgun for the glue, it's been so much easier. All right. So we're just holding it down, and then that's it. All right. So on this one, I was thinking we could maybe even do sequins on those. You could add other splatters if you wanted to. So I decided maybe instead of doing a color, I would just do white splatters on all 3 of these. So I was trying to figure out what splatters to do. I did grab more of the ink to do the blue splatters here, but I think I wound up on the other 2 just doing white. I didn't pull out any other colors. Yeah. Because I was like, well, let me try just doing that and a little bit of the white, and then I was going to put some on my mat here so I could spray it with water and then use it to splatter. And I realized you'll see, because I'm going to be working on the pink one here, that it winds up not going well because, again, it mixes with some of the blue. You see, you get the ink off of your brushes, and it never fails. There's still some left. And I even grabbed this, like, it's like a fan brush, and it had some blue ink because it turned it a little purple. I was like, okay, the universe is against me with this pink color. So I do, now that I'm looking at this, I see I do all three of the colors, and then I'm going to grab white. Now, at first, I did wind up grabbing, I have this picket fence paper splatters opaque white that I got from the shop. And initially, I think I tried, putting it down on the glass mat and then using the different products to splatter on top with. But it winds up that sticking the entire brush in and pulling out the opaque liquid and doing the splatters that way was way easier than dealing with the dropper. And because for some reason this dropper is working correctly, it was driving me nuts. Let's just say that. It was driving me nuts. And I find that this combination doesn't feel as opaque to me as it should. And I don't know if anybody else has these paper splatter inks, but if you have them and have experienced not the result you're looking for, just leave a comment down below. I just want to know it's not user error. That it's not me. Because I got like 4 of them. I have like a gold. I have a whole bunch of different colors. And I don't use them because, especially with the opaque white, I feel like I'm not getting a bright white that I need. You know what I mean? That's why I stick with the Picket Fence Distress Ink spray. Because it's usually when it goes down, it stays that bright white. It doesn't fade. This one fades. And I don't know if it's because the oxide inks, they reactivate with liquid. So it draws up the color from the background. So maybe next time I may have to like cover the background with, I don't know, clear gesso or something, and then do the white splatters on top. But that's a lot of extra work. So yeah, that probably won't happen. All right. So we're just holding these up close so you guys can see the splatter work and my messy fingers. And there's our final projects. I love how they turned out. And I think I'm going to do this again and maybe use a different stencil. This would be fun. And this would be fun to do on a layout project as well. So just keep an eye out for that too. And thank you guys for joining me. Remember that the link to MILLERHOUSE will be down below. And if you guys ever saw Missy Whidden, you should definitely check her out because she has similar qualities. And I love her mixed media. And I find that if you're into mixed media, watching other people create also helps that creativity. So thanks again, you guys, and I hope you have a great day.